While training for the 1980 Olympics, she broke her neck. Mukina is confined to a wheelchair. She blames her former coach.
Surprisingly, this was not the last time this incredibly dangerous move was performed in female gymnastics. Stay tuned till the end of the video to find out what it is. Gymnastics is a sport that balances beauty, strength, and extreme risk. Throughout history, some gymnastics moves have been banned due to safety concerns, aesthetics, or difficulty. These banned moves highlight the constant balancing act between innovation and safety in gymnastics. 10. Silivas Mount. The Silivas Mount, named after Romanian gymnast Daniela Silivas, was a daring and complex skill that involved jumping into a shoulder stand with legs in a straddle position, followed by a pirouette that transitioned into a chest stand on the balance beam. This mount was most famously performed by Silivas during the 1988 Seoul Olympics, where her precise execution and innovative approach helped her secure gold on the beam.
これは入りの瀬戸率のとこですね。
はい。
いやー、シリバス氏のはこれ相譲りません。
At the time, the Silivas mount was considered one of the most difficult ways to begin a beam routine, setting the tone for high-level performances. However, the skill gradually fell out of favor in the following years. The primary reasons were the high risk of falling immediately upon mounting the beam and the low reward associated with it. Many gymnasts and coaches opted for safer mounts that reduced the chances of an early fall, particularly after notable incidents like Alicia Sacramoni's fall during the 2008 Beijing Olympics, which highlighted the risk of tricky beam mounts. 9. Multiple front handsprings. In earlier gymnastics competitions, it was common for gymnasts to perform 2 front handsprings at the start of a tumbling pass to gain momentum. However, as skills became more advanced, the need for running power over front handsprings became apparent. The introduction of more difficult flips and the shift towards round-off back handsprings saw this technique fall out of favor, as gymnasts today use floor space more efficiently for higher value skills. 8. Vaults with sideward takeoff or landing. Vaults that involve sideward takeoff or landing have been banned under the current FIG Code of Points for women's gymnastics. These vaults were deemed dangerous and did not fit the streamlined evolution of vaulting techniques, which now focus on frontward or backward rotations for better control and safety. 7. Belly beats. Also known as beats or beating the bar, this move involves a gymnast swinging from a handstand on the high bar and slamming their hips into the low bar to gain momentum. While this skill was once a common sight in bar routines, it fell out of favor as wider bar settings became standard. The wider bars allowed for more complex flight skills between bars, but lost the rhythm and flow that belly beats provided. 6. Tsukahara beam dismount. The Tsukahara beam dismount, named after Japanese gymnast Mitsuo Tsukahara, was once a common and highly respected way to finish a balance beam routine. The dismount involves a round-off performed on the beam, followed by a back salto, flip, in a tucked, piked, or layout position before landing on the floor. This skill was widely performed during the 1980s and early 1990s because it combined both difficulty and dynamic movement, making it a popular choice among elite gymnasts. In the late 1990s, when the FIG adjusted the code of points, the dismount was downgraded in difficulty and therefore offered less reward compared to other, more challenging dismounts. The downgrade, along with the introduction of higher difficulty requirements for beam dismounts, led many gymnasts to abandon the skill in favor of more difficult dismounts that could score better. While it remains rare, the dismount has been performed in lower-level competitions and even reappeared at the Chicago Style Meet in 2017. 5. Quad series on beam. The quad series, which involves performing 4 connected elements in a row on beam, was once popular in the 1980s and early 90s. Typically consisting of back handsprings and layouts, this series faded from competition after the 1997 Code of Points revised the rules for connection bonuses. The difficulty and high risk of deductions made the quad series less rewarding, leading gymnasts to favor shorter series of 3 elements instead. 4. Comaneci dismount. The Comaneci dismount, named after the legendary Romanian gymnast Nadia Comaneci, was one of the most challenging and innovative dismounts of its time. Debuted during the 1976 Montreal Olympics, where Komenech earned the first ever perfect 10 in gymnastics history. This dismount showcased the high level of technical difficulty that defined her performances. The move begins much like a toe-on front dismount used today, but with a crucial twist. As the gymnast releases her grip and kicks her legs off the bar, she performs a half twist in the air, turning a forward salto into a backward one before landing. The combination of directional change mid-air and the required precision made this dismount a standout. During the 1970s, the Komenech dismount was considered one of the most difficult bar dismounts due to the coordination and timing it demanded. It was a significant factor in the success Komenech found on the uneven bars, allowing her to set a new standard in the sport. At the time, the dismount symbolized the shift toward more complex and daring skills in gymnastics, reflecting how athletes were pushing boundaries. However, as gymnastics evolved, the Komenech dismount gradually faded from the competition scene. The Komenech dismount, while still technically legal, offers lower point rewards compared to the more intricate dismounts commonly seen today, such as double layouts or full twisting double saltos. 3. Standing dismounts. Standing dismounts were once a common way for gymnasts to exit their routines. These dismounts involve standing on the high bar before flipping off, but they were banned when the FIG made it illegal to stand on the high bar. Even attempts to execute standing dismounts from the low bar proved too dangerous, leading to their complete removal from the sport. 2. Korbut flip, dead loop. Performed by Soviet gymnast Olga Korbut at the 1972 Munich Olympics, the Korbut flip involved standing on the high bar, performing a backflip, and re-grabbing the bar. The move became iconic but was later banned for two main reasons: safety concerns and disruption of the routine's flow. The FIG code of points outlawed standing on the high bar, making the Korbut flip illegal in competition. 1. Thomas Salto. The Thomas Salto, named after American gymnast Kurt Thomas, is widely regarded as one of the most dangerous gymnastics moves ever performed. The move consists of a 1.5 salto backward with 1.5 twists, ending with a rollout. The skill was banned after multiple severe accidents, the most tragic being that of Soviet gymnast Elena Mukina, who broke her neck while practicing the move and was left quadriplegic.
Elena Mukina won 3 gold medals in the 1978 World Championships, but she doesn't thrill the crowds anymore. While training for the 1980 Olympics, she broke her neck.
It is believed the last gymnast to complete it was He Shui-mei at the Barcelona Olympics in 1992. The difficulty of precisely executing the rollout landing without risking neck injury led to the move being banned in both men's and women's gymnastics.